Coming to this admission process topic, how
Right.
did you apply to your PhD program? Then what were the
Mhm.
requirements, and what do you feel is the most important criteria? Is SOP or our grades? What are the important criteria to secure PhD position in concerning mainly South Korean universities?
Okay. So the thing with South Korea is it's modeled after the American university.
Mm-hmm.
So because at the end of World War II, the Americans had control over the entire system. So it's modeled after like all of their this. So the university regulations don't come into play that much. If your professor is okay with you, you are okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the criteria is that in the beginning, I mean, you don't have to have any kind of uh, requirements. There are no requirements for PhD joining. You should have a master's degree. That's the
Mm-hmm.
only thing. And
Okay.
the percentage doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as your professor is okay with it, percentage doesn't matter. And then you don't need to have any papers published or anything. No requirements. So the major thing is the English exam.
Yeah, IELTS or
So
TOEFL, I guess.
yeah, most of the people may know this one, but when I was doing, I was in university, I didn't know this one
Mm-hmm.
because in urban areas people are familiar with these kinds of things, but in rural areas it's difficult. We actually don't have ideas. Like our only concern is when will the classes finish and when we go home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So IELTS and TOEIC, sorry, TOEFL
TOEFL. Yeah.
in in India. But in Korea there is one more called as TOEIC,
Okay.
TOEIC.
Mm-hmm.
So what these exams are, these are nothing but English exams, which is very easy for Indians. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
English speaking country in this one. So this contains two major types of examinations. One is listening and one is reading.
Mm. TOEIC. You're
So
talking about
yeah,
TOEIC?
TOEIC.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about TOEIC. So even IELTS are also is okay. I mean, it's the same thing, but ranking will be different. So, but in Korea, they don't ask you this one. Australia,
Mm-hmm.
you need this one. Australia, Canada, you need English exams. Even
Yeah.
US also, if you're going as a master's or a doctorate, you
We
need
need.
English exam. But in Korea, no, you don't need this one. In Korea, you need this when you're graduating at the end of PhD. You need. So that's
Mm-hmm.
okay that you can give here. But for admission, no problem. So the documentation wise, you need to have your all your degree certificates, you know. And one more thing, important thing is you need to have attestations from the embassy,
Yeah.
Indian embassy in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
There is actually one thing called as MOFA, Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Mm-hmm.
That is the External Affairs Ministry of Korea,
Mm-hmm.
which is in Seoul. So you need to get there. If the degree is from Korean university, then you need to get a seal from that office. But if the degree is from India, then you can do two things. One is you can get a attestation from the Korean embassy in India,
Okay.
or you can get the attestation from the Indian embassy in Korea.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that one, like, you know, you can get this one from India also. The one thing called apostille form.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So apostille you can get from India, and then for admission, the primary admission process, you can just submit that one, and it will be fine. Your friend or someone can submit the original document, and you will get the admission. But after that, after you come here, you need to just show the originals, and then you need to make it official. That's all. So
Okay.
admission is really easy in Korea.
Mm-hmm. So before going,
Yeah.
no need to do attestation. You can go there. Then you can do the attestation work.
Right. But the thing is, if you are actually going for PhD, it's
Mm-hmm.
better to ask one of the people from India, or even see, one of the beauty in this one is even Pakistanis will help you a lot,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing you need to remember is when you're out of India,
Mm-hmm.
Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladesh, and Sri Lankan, everybody is Indian. Yeah, there is no distinction. I mean, in your mind there is distinction, but in their mind there is no. My
Yeah.
professor actually once, when he used to get angry, he used to call everybody Indian. So, so it's a common thing. But so the important thing is that they will help you.
Yeah.
They will. Right now, actually, I was looking for a house now. Like 2 days ago, one of my friends came from India, and then I was looking, and then there one Pakistani guy called me, and then he said, "I have a house. Please come and look." Now,
Yeah.
actually, he's taking care because now it's a quarantine period. I can't go there, and
Mm-hmm.
he's near, so he's taking care of all these things. So it's like a cohabitation. We have to survive together now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you are applying for a particular university,
Mm-hmm.
admission, find a person who's there.
Mm-hmm.
Find a person who is there already. Contact him through email and then just tell him your situation. See, I'm trying to come to that university and I don't know exactly the process of admission. So can you please let me know? See, the thing, maximum time, what happens is that one of the person from India will be there doing PhD. So
Yeah.
whatever you are going to go through, he had already been through that.
Yeah.
So he knows exactly what you need. Because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Right now I'm in Yonsei University. Before
Mm-hmm.
I was doing PhD in Pusan National University, right? So the rules and regulations in Pusan National University are completely different from Yonsei University.
Okay.
So the admission process will take, like, the documentations you need will be little different, and
Mm-hmm.
then the examinations is different, the graduation is different, all are little different.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a good idea. But like I said, if your professor is okay, then no need to worry. He will
Yeah.
let you know exactly what documents you need.
Yeah. Here I want
Uh,
to add one thing is that how to find students in different universities in South Korea. Or this. LinkedIn will be the best platform where you can find.
LinkedIn, yes. LinkedIn, yes. But this will come back to my earlier point. So when you are trying to find, I mean, when you are interested in doing PhD, first thing you need to do is look, I mean, think about the topic, which topic you want to do research on. The
Hmm.
second thing you need to do is, where do you want to do the PhD? Which university and which professor? See, university is important. University is important and its ranking is important. If the university ranking is very high, you will have a
Hmm.
good future.
Yeah.
I mean, in the next. But professor is also very important. You need to
Hmm.
search for a particular professor who is doing research in that field, whatever you are thinking, and then apply to him.
Hmm.
See, I'm so and so, and I'm from this country. I'm trying to come there. Just email him directly. I'm trying to
Okay.
come there. If the university role is that you have to apply directly to the university, then he will let you know. If he
Yeah.
wants you, he will let you know. Please send all your documentation to the university office. They will send me something.
Yeah.
But if it is Korea, then the professor will directly accept or reject by himself.
Hmm.
And when you know that one, when you know which professor you're going, then you can search. All the professors have their websites.
Okay.
In that website, they have a section called members.
Hmm.
They have like a gradation, like professor, research professors, postdoctoral researchers, and then
Yeah.
PhD students, masters, bachelors, grade wise. So if you flip through that one, in most of the
Hmm.
labs, you find one Indian at least.
Hmm.
Take any lab in any country,
Yeah.
you find one Indian, at least one Indian. So that is a good thing because you have someone to talk to. I mean, I can't promise that he or she will be very friendly, but
Hmm.
someone will be there.
At least, yeah.
If not them, someone else.
Yeah.
Worst case is that you can just directly talk to the professor. You can just
Hmm.
tell him, okay, I'm having difficulty in admission processing, so can you please guide me in that
Yeah.
one? So he will actually appoint a person from his lab, and he will say, please guide him to get this one, because
Hmm.
professor will not directly know. He will help through someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's easy. Once you decide, someone will help. Don't worry.
Regarding this criteria, we missed one point regarding which is the important weightage for getting admission. Is it like SOP or your master's projects, or like what is important?
There is nothing like that. There is nothing like that. In Korea, there is nothing like that. If you are going through a university, right? You're going through an university, then your marks will be important. Like how much you got the GPA, CGPA, whatever the gradation system in your university, that will be important. But if you're going through the professor, then the professor will look at your subjects. Subject in the sense, see, the thing is, you are applying to someone who is working on the biochemical analysis of cancer, for example.
Okay.
So now you studied organic chemistry in your master's, and you apply to him and you say that I'm interested in your joining in your lab. He will look through your CV and he will see you can synthesize some of the chemicals, and then named reactions, so and so, and then so on. But you are not familiar with cancer biology, and you're not. So that is a problem. So you can't apply to him because he can't take you because you're not knowledgeable in that area. It will be difficult for you to go forward. Right. So what you have to do is you have to apply to a professor who is working in your field.
Yeah.
So then he will, if it is PhD, then he will look at your master's record, and then he will ask you. If he's a very good professor, he will conduct an interview, a small interview, and then he will ask you what kind of topics are you familiar with and what you can do, these things. If you can answer, as an example, one of the guys I know applied to Pusan National University. I was there at that time. He conducted an interview, but before interview, he sent him 2 papers, research papers. So he told him, read these 2 papers and then make like 2 slides for each. Report. No, 2 slides, like presentation. And then when we discuss, I will ask you the questions. Please explain it to me. So these papers will be mostly like, in their research area, that those will be the highest, very good papers. And then he will be interested in continuing that research or something. So he will send you and he will ask you, please read and explain. If you can explain and he is happy with that one, then he will say yes.
Okay.
And once he says yes, then you're there in the lab, no problem.
Yeah.
And the visa will not be an issue in Korea because once the professor agrees, the government will give visa.
Okay.
There is no issue with security or anything. So no problem with that.
So everything will be processed by the university itself or from?
No. University will not process anything. So you need to find out the documentation. What kind of documents? Like for example, there is an application form which is there for every admission. Anywhere. So there is an application form which you need to fill out, and then there is something called as your masters and bachelors, all the summary. Okay. And then there is something called as project details. I wrote this one. So that one is like you need to write in half a page or 1 page what kind of research you will be doing in that lab and how long will you be working there, something like that.
It's like proposal, research proposal.
Yeah. It's not exactly research proposal because research proposals are detailed explanation of this one. But you just need to explain what is the area you're working on. Like for example, you can just say, I'm going to synthesize this kind of metal nanoparticle or metallic material to achieve this result, to get this result. That's it. Just simple explanation. So that explanation will depend on what your professor wants you to do. So you need to get the interview, and then your professor need to say yes. And once he says yes, you need to ask him what kind of research will I be doing. So then it will come. So, but those things will come after, like you are ready to join the lab. So at that time, someone will send you the documents, and then there will always be like, okay, so the thing is that there is a link in the
Mm-hmm.
university website where you can download all these documents. Readily they're available.
Mm-hmm.
Problem with the Chinese and Japanese and Korean universities are they're all in local languages.
Yeah.
So English is a little difficult. I mean, it is there. I'm not saying no, but it's difficult to get in English. Sometimes you have to translate. Sometimes you have to ask someone to translate and send it to you. So that's a little problem, but you can find problems everywhere. So yeah, but once you do that, then the thing is that you need to do all these things, and there will be some time,
Mm-hmm.
like 1 week or 10 days before the classes start. There is a time gap period of 3 days or something. So at that time they will ask you to submit. So if you are already there in the university, then you can submit by yourself. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
not there, you can ask someone in the university, in your lab, or from India, your friend or someone. So just go there and submit it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, only thing you need is that the family relationship certificate, something they will ask
Mm-hmm.
for, like you have to put your ration card info and then get one document from the lawyer. But that keeps changing every time. So you need to know if you need that one or not.
Okay.
That's the only thing required. Yeah.